Live streaming is on.
Okay. Well, today we're actually supposed to start a new topic. It's not on sequel. So what you should do is that you should just go through the notes, watch the recording. If you have questions, I'm always available. Or your
Okay.
fellow.
But your volume is a little bit low.
My volume is low. Let me try to adjust. Is it better?
Yeah, better now.
All right. Okay. So I'll go ahead and share my screen, and then we can
Okay.
start.
Okay, madam.
Can you see my screen? Okay. So I was supposed to talk about version control systems today, and I'll show you a few things and do some exercises into. So when we talk about version control systems, is it's basically a means or a tool that helps you version your work. Now I was supposed to actually say version your code, but I'm going to come there because I want to use some relatable examples before we even get into it, even get into referencing it to code. So you've used Microsoft Word, Google Docs, and so on before, right?
Yes.
And
Mhm.
yes, and when you use it, you see that you can always undo several times, or after undoing several times, you can redo several times. So what happens is that you're actually moving through different versions of your document, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the state at which it can revert to a previous state where you were at a particular point in time. So a similar thing is actually possible for when you're working on your code as well, when you're writing source code as well. You're able
Oh,
you're able to also move through different versions of your code at particular points in time. All right. There's also this other feature on all of these word processing tools where you can collaborate with other people on a document in real time. Google Docs is a very relatable example, Google Sheets and so on, right? You could be working on a document together. Someone is probably working on page 1 to 10, and then you're there working on page 11 to 20, right? You're collaborating on the document. A similar thing happens with code. Now, you see how all of these word processing tools have their versioning integrated in them. When it comes to code, we also have version control systems. Although when you're talking about code, they'll usually say source control systems, but that's a more appropriate name since version control systems, like it can go for everything you could possibly think of. But source control system is more specific. However, if you go somewhere or you talk to other developers or people in IT fields and when they're talking about versioning, you just hear them say version control systems instead of source control systems, but source control systems is a more appropriate name. So yeah, all of what we're able to do on Google Docs when it comes to versioning, we can also do when it comes to our code, right? So I'm going to reference just like a brief introduction. So this is an overview. Version control systems for short, VCS and source control systems. As I already said, they are synonymous when it comes to software development. This is the more appropriate name. This is the more appropriate name, but this is what you would see everywhere. Okay. So both of
yes.
them, yes.
Okay.
You have a question?
No, no. I was just trying to memorize the SCL stuff.
Okay, okay. So both of them refer to the practice and tools used to manage, track, and organize changes to source code and other project files over time. Okay. Now I've already said that the terms are interchangeable. And um, when it comes to version control systems in the context of source code, the most widely used version control system, or the most widely used tool for versioning is Git. I'm sure you know of Git or you've heard of Git. There's also Mercurial, as we see here. There's Apache Subversion, but it doesn't it doesn't beat Git. Git is quite popular. So for this our lesson, we're actually going to be using Git. It's standard. Okay,
All
and
right.
just nice to know, the person who created Git is the same person who worked on the Linux OS, Linux Torvalds. Although Git is no
Okay.
longer being maintained by him, it's now being maintained by someone else. The name should be somewhere in here. I think I put it here. All right. So there are popular tools like Git, Mercurial, and Apache Subversion, like I said, and they are referred interchangeably as version control systems or source control system tools. But then there are also services. There are services like GitHub, like GitLab, like Bitbucket, like Codeberg, and so on, which are popular platforms for hosting repositories, right? Hosting repositories managed by these systems, managed by these version control systems like Git and Mercurial and so on. Okay, now take this analogy. So we have Git, the version control system. We have the code that we work on and use Git to manage it. But then when we're using Git, we're using Git locally, right, on our computers. But then say that you share your source code with somebody. How are you going to do it? Are you going to put it in a flash drive? Are you going to zip the file and send to them via email or WhatsApp or whatever? Or are you going to upload it to Google Drive and share the link with them? Absolutely not. That's why
Services
these
are
hosting
available.
exactly. That's why these platforms come in to help you, let me say, ameliorate this. And for this, throughout the program, we're also going to be using GitHub. So we'll be working with Git and GitHub. Now, these platforms have Git integrated in them. Like you, well, I'm not sure you may know this yet, but then like when you go to GitHub, just like how you can make a commit locally when you're working on a project, you can equally make a commit to that same project directly from GitHub. So it has Git integrated in it, and we're going to see how that goes or that looks like. So let's take a look at Git. Git is free. It's open source. It's a distributed version control system, and we already know what it does, right? It's used to track changes in computer files, most commonly for source code during software development. Now, when you say most commonly for source code, it doesn't mean that you can't also track photos or other documents and so on, right? Or audio files and so on. It's most commonly used for source code. Now, these are projects of all sizes, from the small ones to the major enterprise projects, with lots of speed and efficiency. And like I said, it is used globally, right? It has become the global standard for version control.
All right.
9% out of all jobs you're going to see, you're going to meet them using Git as their version control system, unless otherwise. Okay, I already also said that Git works locally on your computer, but then you can use it with other online services like GitHub, GitLab, and Bitbucket, and so on. Oh, and yep, it was created by Linus Torvald, same guy who did Linux, but it's maintained by this guy, Junio Hamano.
Junior Hamano.
Yep, it's just some nice thing. We don't need to memorize that. So Git is used for tracking changes made in your code. It's used for tracking who made the changes, and it's also used for coding collaboration. Just like with Google Docs, right? It even keeps timestamps. This person made this edit, this other person made this edit. It's tracking, right? Okay.
Also for collaboration, like you
Now,
can
when
work in it.
working with Git, there are some important words that we need to understand. Yes, for collaboration.
It's like your is it my network or your network?
Are you still with me?
Yeah, it apparently your network bars were showing red.
I can hear you now.
All right. Apparently,
What is the
your yeah, your network bars were showing red. I don't know
okay? Then
why.
it means it's me. I'm saying we are home today. I'm not at the
Yeah.
office. Not the
All
office.
right, all right, all right. I see. I see.
All right, but you were trying to say something. I can hear you now. Just go ahead.
I was like just saying it works in GitHubs into for coding collaboration and like you can work in a team with someone.
Definitely, yes. So let's look at these words which are important to know when you are working with Git. So the first one is a repository. A repository is basically a folder, the project that you're working on, a folder or a directory that is being tracked by Git. So let me show you some. Um, so I'm going to create a folder here now. Um, I'll call this Git available. I'm going to that folder now, right? The moment I view the content of this folder, nothing is inside. What does it show? Just dot and dot dot. This meaning the present directory, right? And this meaning the parent directory. Yeah. But then the moment I initialize Git in this folder, it now becomes a repository, a Git repository. How do I do this? I'm going to use the command git init. And when I run the previous command again, I now see that I have a .git folder, right? Initialize the Git repository. All right, so this is now a repository. I'll come back to that. Now, the next term that you need to understand is a clone. So a clone is making a copy of your remote repository on your computer. So just like how you download a document from Google Drive and it now sits locally on your PC, the same thing happens with Git. When you make a clone from GitHub, when you let me use the word now download. When you download a project from GitHub onto your computer locally, what you've done is that you've made a clone of the project.
Okay.
Now, the next term is stage. So when we talk about staging, right, you're telling Git that this is what I want to save. So what do we
Okay.
so what do we mean by staging? Okay, so yeah, right now, just take a look at the commands so that you understand. You don't need to memorize them now. But then right
Okay.
now, I don't have any file in here per se, any project files, right? So let's say that I have a a Python file that prints hello world, right? And put this in hello.py. Okay. And now I have this in my hello.py. Okay. All right. So I have
If
this in my hello.py. But then when I run this command, git status just gives us, as the name says, the status of our repository. Okay. So when I run this command, we see here that, okay, we have an untracked file, hello.py, right? Git is aware of all of the files in our repository, but then I have not staged this file. That's why it's red. That's why it's untracked. Now, if I
all right.
say that, let me just add another file. Let me say hello to me and we call this git.py. For example, if we run git status again, you now see that we have two untracked files, right? Git is aware of all of these files. Now,
Okay. So
the moment
it's aware of
I,
everything you're doing.
yes, it's aware of everything that I'm doing. But now, staging, let's look at staging again. Staging tells Git which changes you want to save next. So if I do this command, git add hello.py, and I do Git status again, something has changed. This is now green, right? So Git, what I basically told Git is that I want to move forward with hello.py. I have staged hello.py. So let me give you a related example. When you go to the agency to send parcels, right, packages to another town, let's say you go there with two boxes, including your backpack, right? And your when you meet those guys who are there to parcel and ask you what you want to send, if you put all of those two boxes down and your backpack, what you want to send is the two boxes and not your backpack, right? Let's say you just put your backpack down because it was heavy. Now, if you don't tell the guy that, okay, what I want to send is these two boxes, he's not going to know, right? So that is how staging works. Staging is kind of like, okay, these are all the things that I have, but I want you to move
To
forward with
send
this one.
these particular ones.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. We'll come back to this. Don't worry. I'm just demonstrating. Okay. Another thing that another term that we need to understand is a commit. So a commit creates a snapshot of your stage changes. Now when we talk about a snapshot, what is the time now? It's 11:36. If I take a photo, a screenshot of us in this meeting now, it's going to be that okay, who are those present? Azibo and Miriam. It was 11:36 a.m. and they were on this particular section of the notes, right? It has given us
Yeah.
information of how things were at a particular point in time. Now, let's say Lovett happens to join us at 11:40. And then he's joining us, let's say, when we're looking at the workflow of Git, for example. If I take another screenshot, the time is going to be 11:40 and we're going to be on another section of the notes, right? So that's basically what a commit does. A commit tells, a commit, a commit creates a snapshot, as the name goes, of your stage changes in your code at that particular point in time. So let's go back to this. I want to view my commit history. So I'm going to use a command, git
Get
log. But
status.
then we see that I don't have any commits yet, right? So let me commit. Since I've stayed, I must commit. So let me say git commit dash m. Dash m is short for message. And I write, let me say, add hello.py. Now, if I run git log again, you now see it has created a snapshot of how things were at that particular point in time. Now let's say
Well,
that there was an issue, right? And I had to, okay, let's take a more relatable scenario. Let's say you're working on some product for a client, and this product has maybe of course it has, let's say, the general features like authentication, and then maybe it's some I don't know, chatbot or whatever. Think of a scenario later. But then the client has said that okay, right now there's a new part of my business model that I would like my business logic that I'd like to implement, and I want you to work on this feature. This feature requires you to integrate payment services. I want people to be able to pay via Momo and also through using their bank cards, right? Bank transfer. And it's like for bank transfer, I need you to integrate Stripe. Stripe is just some service to facilitate all of this. Okay, so you've integrated Momo, it worked, you're fine. Now, upon integrating Stripe, there's some issue and it just crashes the entire system, just taking everything down. The application is no longer usable. And you're like, okay, this is chaotic. The client cannot work with this, of course. So before resolving this issue, I need the application to be stable. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to roll back to a previous version of my code, right? At the point it was stable. Same thing with Google Docs, right? Maybe you mistakenly added something you weren't supposed to add. You're just undoing. It takes you back to the previous version where everything was fine. So this is how committing works. That previous version that is taking you to, in this case, is referred to as a snapshot because it had the entire state of your project at a particular point in time. Now, when we commit, we create a snapshot, and you
Yeah.
look at what we have here for the commit. Yes, do you have a question? Did you want to say something?
No, 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 no.
Okay. So when we make a commit, what happens is that it keeps information of oh, name is toxic here. It keeps information of the author, right? And then it also has the date, and it as well has the commit hash. So the commit hash is just like some unique ID that it generates for every commit. Okay. So now I staged, let's look at this again. Mistake. So I staged hello.py, I've committed hello.py. So Git is like, okay, noted. Let's go back to the people at the bus station. They're like, okay, we've seen the bags you want to send. We've wrapped it with the tape, put the information on top, and give you your receipt. So this is done. No need to worry about it anymore. But then we still
All
have grid.py, right? Let's say we want to
right.
make an edit to grid.py, and let's say we want to add the message here, make the message longer. Let's say, hello training, you are welcome. Right. So we've made changes now to get to read the pan. We're like, okay, well, okay with these changes, and now we want to stage the changes again. We want to tell Git that okay, move with this next. You come and
Okay.
add your
Sure.
password. Yeah,
All
move
right.
with this. So when we run Git status again, yeah, Git is like, okay, I'm going to move with this, but give me some information. Who am I issuing the receipt to? So you're like, okay, git commit dash m add greet.
But I'm seeing new file. I'm seeing new file. That means it's because you added that text in the grid.py.
No, it's because I staged it. So Git is like, okay, this is a
Mm-hmm.
new file that has been staged. It's just like with the at the agency, right? You come back with another bag. Even if the bag was there before, they're like, okay, it's a new bag.
You have to join them together. So that's why you're committing it now or how?
Yeah. I'm doing another commit now so that I can create another snapshot of my project at this point in time.
Okay.
So the moment I do git log again, I now see, right? I have the
Mm-hmm.
first commit where I was adding hello.py, and I have the second commit where I was adding git.py. So if something happens, let's say in the future I work on something else and I have another commit, I can always come back to this point using this commit hash, or come back to this point using this commit hash, just like undoing and undoing, right?
Okay. That commit hash, like I can go now, like if you want to edit, let's say, grip.py to add text, you have to use this commit long digits where there is a head and main to edit the file.
No. So let's look at the content of grid.py. This is what it is, right? So if I want to edit this grid.py now to have more text, let's say I add another line. What can, let's maybe print another message saying, how are you today? Let's view the content. A new line has added, right? Let's check the status of our project. Now it tells us that, okay,
You've
we're aware of
modified it.
grid.py, but it doesn't modify. It's no longer a new file because we did not just create grid.py, right? So now I go back. Let's take back the example of the agency. I go back and I'm like, okay, hey, I forgot to add this bracelet or this whatever inside this cartoon. I want to put it now. So the person in charge is like, okay, put it now. They open it, you put it, they seal it back. And when they seal it back, they must record it in their system, right? And maybe issue you a
It's
new
not.
receipt. So them doing that now, if you do another commit and you're like, okay, modify, okay, I spelled it wrong. modify grid.py. Oh, I've not even staged it yet. Look at me. So staging again, you know what staging will do here, right? Telling them that, okay, I've added something now.
You should take a snapshot.
No, staging is now telling them that I've added something inside the cartoon. Take the cartoon now and send. You're telling them that this is what I want you to go with. So staging tells Git the files to move with.
Okay.
Okay. So now that I've staged, I come back and I'm like, okay, I want to commit. Give me my receipt. We've committed. What happened? If we check our commit history, if we check our commit history, that was the wrong command. We now see that it has added. The first time it was add hello.py. Second time it was add grid.py. The third time, okay, now we've modified grid.py, right? So
Yes.
if at any point in time we want to go back, we're like, no, I don't want it to be, I don't want it to have that extra line of code anymore. I want it to be in the state where it was just the first line of code. What do? We just revert back to this commit, right? Which was add grid.py.
I see, I see, I see.
Yeah, don't
Then
worry, it will make sense.
I saw you using Vim. Is it the same like Nano?
Yes, it's the same like Nano. It's also a text editor, but they have different commands. I just
Okay.
prefer Vim.
All right. All right.
So you can use Nano or whatever you're comfortable with. Okay.
Okay.
So that is it on staging and committing. But then
All
there's
right.
another important word that we need to know, which is a branch. So remember we talked about collaboration, right? So in the context of Git, in the context of writing code, working on projects, yeah, we talk about branches. So a branch just enables you and maybe other developers, right, to work on different versions or features at the same time. Work on different versions or features at the same time. So let me show you an example.
Okay.
Presently, we are on the main branch.
All right.
We are on the main branch, and on the main branch, we have these files inside, right? Okay. Now let's say there's a feature that I want to work on. Maybe apart from just printing messages, I now want to print numbers. But the normal workflow is this. When you want to work on a new feature, and of course, when the application or the software is already stable, what would you do? You would have to take the code from what is already stable and existing before adding what you want to add on it, right? Yes. But then you cannot just do that on the branch that contains the stable one or on the branch that contains the main thing. Why? Because that is most likely what the end users are using. Imagine that WhatsApp just wakes up and decides that, okay, they want to work on a new feature and they'll be working on it progressively on the branch that contains the code for what we, the end users, are consuming. It's going to be chaotic. Or
Not,
imagine,
not secured.
yeah, you get the point, right? So you must create a different branch where you work on it there, test it there, make sure that it is stable and okay before you now say, okay, green light, go ahead. Now we can ship it to the end users. You understand? Okay. So from the main branch, I'm going to create another branch from here. I'll call this maybe feature slash calculations, right? Now you see the message. Switch to a new branch called feature slash calculations, right? And if I run this git branch command again, now you see that main is still there as a branch, but I'm currently on feature. That's why it's green. In my case, it's green in a little different terminal. There's a star there. So now I'm here. If I do ls again, I still have greet.py and hello.py. Why? Because I created this branch, this new branch from the
Yeah.
main branch.
The,
Okay. So now let's see that
so how do you
I
move it
want
now
to
to?
yes.
I'm saying like how do you move it from the main to the future calculations branch?
How did I move there?
The grid.py and halo.py to the future slash calculations branch.
Oh, how did I move it? Okay.
I mean, how do you
So
move it?
no, no. You see, I did not manually move it with maybe copy this file, paste here. I just use this command. We'll get familiar with all the commands. I just use this
Oh,
command. I just said, okay, check out, meaning create me a new branch, create me a new branch from this present branch where I was in. Okay, look at
okay.
something. Now, let me just add an empty file. Let me add an empty file. Let me say calcul.py, right? This is it. We now have calcul.py. And let's verify the branch we're in again. It's still features slash calculations, right? So I have to add and commit. We'll come to this. It's just like a standard thing before I move to any other branch. So let me just
Oh,
say add calculation file. Okay, now if I say git
lock.
checkout and I do ls, I have just these two files. But if I check out back to the feature slash calculations branch and I do ls, I have calcul.py.
Wait, calculate. Yeah, you have the. That's because you did it under the features dot calculations.
Yes, that's because I did it under this branch, feature slash calculations.
Okay.
So you see how they can just take a different branch, start working on new features. When everything is ready now, they test and then they merge it back to the main branch, right? Yeah, this is just to give you an overview. You're going to do all of this. After some time, you'll be the one to share your screen and I'll be guiding you.
All right.
Okay, so now we're on this branch. Wait, let me be sure. Where are we? Okay, so now we're on the feature slash calculations branch, right? Now, if I decide to create another branch from this branch, what will happen? It will copy all of the file contents from here to that new branch, right? So let me do it so that you see. Git check out that dash B, testing, new branch, checkout. This is a long, very long name. But then let's verify where we are. So if we do git branch again, we see the other two existing branches, right? And we see where we are. And if I do ls, it also has calcul.py. Why? Because I created this branch from this one. I checked out from the feature slash calculations branch. You get it?
All right. Yes.
So let me go back to feature slash calculations and delete the other branch because it was just for the purpose of demonstration. Okay, but then this is just the whole concept of branching. Now with merging now. So what when we talk about merging here, to merge it just combines the changes now from the different branches. So when you're done working on the features, quality assurance, it's like okay, it's okay. Go ahead, you can release. You then create your pull request. Another word we're going to see. You then create your pull request. Like the pull request is just saying that okay, I've worked on these things. Okay, I want to I want to join it with what is in production. When I say in production, I'm referring to what the end users have, what is live. So I want to merge it. So merging it now says okay, I'm combining the changes with what is live, and I'm now going to join it such that all of them becomes live.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's remove. Okay, so let's say that. Oh, actually now I keep opening a new one. All right. So now I'm on feature slash calculations. Was there anything in that calculator file? No. So
Nothing.
let me add something. We said we're now going to print calculations, right? So let's print 2 plus 4. That is what we have there. Okay. So now I'm here. I've done everything that I want to do inside inside feature slash calculations, right? So I go
Mm-hmm.
back to my main branch and I'm like, okay, everything that I've done right now is good. So the changes, we assume that the changes have been tested and QA has given us the green light, right? So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I want to now merge the changes from my now I want to now merge the changes from this branch into my main branch, right? So I use this git merge command. Let's check the branch where we're in again. Remember, we're on the main branch, right? And I've merged
Yeah.
these changes here. The moment I do ls, now we have calcul.py. So we now have the new feature.
In the main branch.
Yes, in the main branch. I merged what was in the feature slash calculations into the main branch. So how did I do this? Notice I had to go back to the branch that I want to merge in. That's the receiving branch, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
say, okay, in this branch that I'm in now, merge the work that I have done, merge the contributions I've made from this branch into, excuse me, into the main branch. Then just an aside, it's still related, but I want you to notice something about, I want you to notice something about how I've been writing my commit messages. So look at the most recent ones. The most recent one, perform calculation, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For the other one, add calculation file,
Mm-hmm.
modify grid.py. Which one again? Add grid.py, add hello.py. You realize
Mm-hmm.
that it's in the imperative mode. Let me see, let me
It's
get it.
having new messages, like it actually describes the action. Is that what you're trying to explain?
Yes, it describes the action and it's using a particular tone of talking. It's in the imperative mode. Imperative mode. So when I say imperative mode, what do I mean? First of all, it is in present tense, right? And then secondly, it's not starting with a pronoun. English language has followed us here. So it doesn't start with a pronoun. So normally,
Okay.
maybe if you were to write this thing normally, add hello.py, you would rather say something like, I added hello.py, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you say, I added, or maybe you can even just come and say, added calculation logic. No, but the proper way to rather say this is add hello.py.
Mm-hmm.
The proper way now to say this is um, add calculation logic, right?
Yes.
So this is the imperative mode. First, your commit messages must be in present tense.
Okay.
Second, yes. Second, it should not start with a pronoun. Don't say I this or he this or all of that. It should just be detailed, clear, and in the imperative mode. So this is the
Okay.
rule. Yeah, this is the rule for the
Of the
imperative mode.
imperative. Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
Okay. Nice. So let's come back. We have two more words here to understand. So we also have the word pull. So pull just means that okay, this my work that I've been doing that sits on my remote repository, right, on GitHub. I want to I want to pull the latest changes from there. I want to pull the latest changes from there. I want to get the most recent changes that have been made so that it can now reflect on my computer. So do I have something that I can use to demonstrate? Okay, I'll just quickly create a repository so that you can see. How this is so big.
Actually, I have an idea on this GitHub because I actually started this with ALX, something like that, but I didn't. I told you I
Oh,
never. Yeah. So
yeah.
I think I know what to do when it comes to this one.
Okay, so we're good with this. You understand what it means to pull, right?
Yes, yes. Like to get information of what other users have already brought into the system
Yes.
in the Git, like
Yes.
to
So
have information of what other people have already submitted.
yeah, what other people have already submitted.
Okay.
Okay. Let me demonstrate for you. What's the name of this? Okay, we have Git with Azibo. So I'm going to use the same name here, Git with Azibo, and I'm just going to leave it empty like that. So let me create the repository and follow the instructions for setup. We'll come and do all of this together.
Okay. Apparently, my laptop is not charging. I don't know why. But I'm trying to.
Your laptop is not charging. Okay, meaning it just keeps going low. Wow.
Yes, but I don't know why. It just started this
Okay.
yesterday.
Let me just finish with this part of the discussion. I can give you maybe a few minutes to try to sort it out before we continue.
All right, all right.
Okay. All right. So what I'm doing here now, I'm just trying to connect my remote repository to what I have locally.
Okay.
Okay. Nice. So everything is good. I can confidently push. Pushing now means that okay, I want my changes that I have locally to reflect on my remote repository, right?
And it
When I
has
press
reflected.
this on my main, yes, okay, so it has reflected. So, but now we don't have a README file. So let me say I'm just going to add the README file from here. So I'm going to add some text here. Git with Azibo, understanding Git as a VCS. And look, like I said, it has Git integrated, so I can commit the changes that I have made, right? Copilot
Okay,
doing
right,
for me. And
right on it.
it's also writing, yes, I'm setting my commit message. You see how in the terminal we'll normally do git commit dash n. GitHub integrates Git. Yeah, integrates Git.
All
So this is another way of committing, of course, but with a graphical user interface and not a command line interface.
right, all right.
And you see that it's also using the imperative mode, right?
At, yeah.
Add initial read name, project title, and description.
So is that
But
where
I don't
you
always
type?
have to go.
Is that where you type the project title, the name
The
of the
commit
con?
message, yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I'll type the commit message and I'll show you. So now I'm saying I want to commit directly to the main branch, right? I don't want to create a branch. So I'll take commit changes. Let's give it some time. Okay, so now this has changed. I now have a new file on my main branch still. Readme.md has started, has added, and we have the original files that were there. But the moment I come back,
If you go, if you go to the terminal now and do ls, are you going to see readme?
no,
Unknown
it
caller.
won't, because my changes are not up to date, right? So
All
all I
right,
need
you
to
have
do now is, yes, I need to pull.
okay. Pull from GitHub.
Yes.
All right.
So the moment I now use this command, git pull origin main, I'll explain what the rest does, but if I still wrote git pull, it would have worked. So it has told us, giving us some information, doing all of this, unpacking, etc., etc. Updated this, fast forward. Oh, what added? Readme added 2 lines or 2 additions, right? One file change, create mode, readme, and all of that. Now, if I do ls, I see readme, right? Let's check
All
out the
right.
content. We have it there. This with Azibo.
Wow.
So pulling, I've gotten my latest changes, right? From the root repository to my local repository. That's okay, right?
It's okay.
Okay. Now let's edit readme.md. I'm doing this locally, right? So I want to add something. I want to say, yes, ask your question.
Like you want to add something into the README, then after you push to GitHub using the
Yes,
same commands you use. Yeah. Or are you going to
yes.
add the branch, or how are you going to do it?
Oh no, right now I'm working on the same branch, but as we're progressing in the lessons with version control, right, we're going to see how um, all of this would go. We're going to see how all of this would go, like different cases when you're using different branches, when you're on the same branch, and so on and so forth. Okay, so here now, I'm adding another line. I want to say that VCS is used synonymously with SCS. Git is a popular, or let me even put in bracket, standard VCS tool globally. And I save. Can you hear me? Oh, you're breaking. The network is bad. Let me give you some time.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay,
Can
Git
you hear
is
me?
yeah. I can.
I see green for you now. Okay. So this is locally, right? I've added this content locally. If we come back, let's refresh GitHub.
It will not be available.
If we come back, we still have this exactly. So what we have to do now is we have to push, right? But pushing is like saying that, okay, I'm now sending my package from Boya to Yaoundé through the bus. So the bus has to go and deliver it. But before the bus delivers it, what do? I need to take it to the agency and tell them that this is what this is what I want to send, right?
The
This
particular
means that
package.
now, yes, the particular package. So I must stage, right? When I stage, what do? They give me my receipt. Git commit dash m. What are we going to say? Update readme
Update
branch.
readme.exe.
Yeah, or update readme.md. Either works. Now they have given my receipt and they're like, okay, the bus is leaving soon, so it's going to get to Yaoundé. We put it on the bus. The driver drives. The driver drives. We're pushing, right? So after pushing, driver is like, hey, it has arrived Yaoundé. Here we have it now in Yaoundé. That's updated.
Which is, yeah,
So
good.
that is just the whole pulling and pushing. All good so far, right?
But I don't understand these branches so well, branching and how to measure. Can you try to demonstrate on that
Okay,
one again?
no challenge at all. Okay, so this command git branch shows us the branches that we have, right? Okay, now on the main branch, we have these files. We now have calcul, we have grit, we have hello, and we have readme.md. But if I
That's on
go to,
that's on the
yeah, on the
main
main
file.
branch, on the main branch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, think about the branches like this. Let's say that a student, a primary school student, has to register to write maybe first school. No, they are going for interview after they've written
Mm-hmm.
their first school in different secondary schools, right? So
Yes.
they must deposit their birth certificate, their maybe common entrance result, and some other maybe a picture. Maybe let's say those three documents.
Mm-hmm.
Let me open this so that we can have a visual representation. So let's say the first school is GBHS. The second school is maybe, oh, look at what I've done. Okay, the second school is Sacred Heart, and the third school is wow, I don't have school names in my head. Let me say BGS. Okay, now this student went to GBHS first, and what did they give? They gave their what's it called? Their birth certificate.
The picture and the others.
Yes, their picture and let's say um, common entrance result, right? This is GBHS. So GBHS has all of this. But then from GBHS, they decided to make a copy of everything, right? They decided that, okay, I'll just take the documents that I submitted in GBHS and also carry it to Sacred Heart, the birth certificate, the picture, and the common entrance results. So Sacred Heart has an exact copy of all of this.
They all want the same requirements.
Yes, they all want the same requirements. But then, for whatever reason, this student decides that they are going to be a legend. They reach BGS now, and then they give their birth certificate, quite all right. Now, they give their picture, but for some reason, they did not give their common entrance results. Let's say their house got burnt. He could not get his common entrance result anymore. So what does he need to do? He now needs to go back to Sacred Heart or to GBHS and say, please, I need a copy of one of these things that I gave you so that BGS can also have it.
Okay.
So he now, BGS, or let me say Sacred Heart, now gives him the common entrance result, and he makes a copy and comes now and hands it to BGS. So it's not a perfect analogy, but this is how branching works. So branching is basically saying that at different points in time, we can all hold the same or different information. In my main branch, in my
Your
main
main branch,
branch,
Your main branch can act like a GBHS because you submitted everything there. So if you go to another branch I don't have, you can easily take from the main branch. You can easily transfer from the main branch to the newly created branch. Is that how it works?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is my main branch that has everything, right? And
Mhm.
back to the example that we used, I now want to work on payments, right? Payment integration. So I'll now create a new branch and say, okay, payment integration. And this new branch that I'm creating now, I'll take the material from where I'll start with, okay, I'm saying that I want to have all the software, all the features in the software that are there, right? So I'll say this feature branch of payment integration, I am taking it from main, right? From main, and then I add my payment features.
Okay.
You get it? And then I add my payment features. When I am done with my payment features, I now come and merge it back to main. Let's take the example here using actual code, right? So let's check again. Where are we? We are on the main branch. Let me delete that feature slash calculation so that we can start afresh. And you see, okay, now we've deleted the branch feature slash calculations, and now we're left with just one branch.
Mhm. The main branch.
Yes, the main branch. So now we want to work on another feature. We want to actually do our payments, right? Work on payments. So I'll now come and
Mhm.
say, from the main branch, create me another branch where I can work on my payments,
Future
right?
payment. Mhm.
Yes. This is just like a standard naming convention. I'll provide you all the standards.
All right.
Okay. I want to now work, yeah, I want to now work on my payments. So from this main branch, give me every file that is there so that I can work on payments because it does not make sense to be working on payments, only just payments in the other features that are already existing. So I want to work on payments, the other features that are already existing, everything before even making your own addition.
Okay.
So when we run that now, it gives us the new branch, right? We're now on
Yeah,
this new branch.
but it said that you switched to a new branch. You are just trying to create the new branch. Why does it automatically switch you into that branch?
Yes. Okay, because of the command that I'm using. I'm saying
Okay.
git checkout. Git checkout here actually means to switch. But now, if I just do maybe git, okay, look at this. Let me show you something. We have two branches now, right? If I just do
Mm-hmm.
maybe um, git checkout, let me say Azibo. Error. Azibo did not match any files. In this case, it's referring to a branch known to Git. But if I do git checkout main, it will take me to main of it will take me to main, right? Because main
Mm-hmm.
exists. So what I'm basically saying here is that I want to switch to this branch, but just create it in the process. Create it and switch and take me there. That's why we have this
That
dash B.
okay.
Yeah, don't worry so much about the commands yet.
All
So
right.
now we are in main. Since feature exists, we can now check out to feature, right? Now you see that I'm no longer using that dash B.
Mm-hmm. But now you are in main. You are in features payment integration branch. Can you hear me?
Are you
Are
there?
you there? Yeah, I'm saying I'm saying as it is now, that means you have already switched to the future payment integration already.
Yes, because I just wrote git checkout and the branch exists, right? But if I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to create a branch just like that without switching to it, maybe I'll now write the branch name like this: git git branch azibo. What does it do? It creates a new branch, right? But it does not take me to it.
So if you want to go there to Azibo, you go to Git check out Azibo.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. But now it already has those files already.
Yes, because I created the branch while I was in this branch. So when you
Ah,
create
okay,
a
okay.
branch, yeah, when you create a branch from another branch, of course, when you're in another branch, it just copies the files.
Okay, okay, that's understandable.
Okay. So let me see where we are. Let me go back to our feature branch.
Live streaming is on.
Okay. Okay. So I'll switch to our feature branch and let me delete the Azibo branch since we don't need it.
Okay.
So we check for branches again. We just have this. Okay, so now on the feature branch, we said we want to work on payments, right? So I'll create a um, payment file, and in it, I'm just going to say print yay payment works. So no one should question us. Our payment works. It's done.
Okay.
It's tested. We now have the payments.py file, right? Which is not on our main branch. So now look at something. If I want to check out to main from here,
You say it's your origin.
wait, was I doing this in main? Which branch am I in? Oh, I was doing all of these changes in main. I thought I was in the feature branch. It's okay.
But the star was on under future future
Okay.
payment
Oh,
integration.
yes, yes, yes. I was actually in feature and I switched to main. What just happened? Let me see.
Git checkout made switch to main.
I'm just concerned about why.
That's it, the payment. That's it. Huh?
Yeah, hold on, please. And I didn't even commit these changes. Is this normal? Git checkout name. You don't need this file
You've gone
again.
to the,
It's okay. I've taken out the payment file. Let's go back to feature.
okay.
Okay, so what on earth is happening?
You've not created the file yet. You removed it from
From
payment
main, not
integration.
on feature. In fact, you know what? Right now, this is just confusing me. Let's start it all over again.
Okay.
So we are on feature branch. This is what we have in our feature branch. So in feature branch, we're going to create, let me just advance and the thing there. We're going to say payment works, right?
Yeah.
Payment works. Okay, so we now have our payment.py file. Git status, this is not being tracked, right? So we must stage and we must
Commit.
commit, integrate payment services. Now, let's check out to main. And now on the main branch,
You can do
on the main,
LS.
yes, on the main branch, we don't have payment.py, right? And we've worked on our payment integration. Now we're like, okay, changes are good. We want to merge the changes now back into our main branch from the feature slash payment integration branch, right? So what we'll now do is that we would say git merge. Remember the branch we're in, we're in main, and we want to merge from feature, right? So we'll now say git merge feature payment integration. So we're merging the changes from there in here. Now, when we do ls, we have
It
our
should be there.
payment.py file. Yes, in the main branch. Nice. Now we're done with everything. We're done with everything. So we don't need the feature branch again. We've already worked on our product, on our feature, right? It's okay. So what do? We delete the branch. It's no longer needed. If you want to work on a new feature, we still come and check out from where? Look at me. I'm
Main.
supposed to write it down. Good. We check out from main. We check out from main. So now we've deleted this.
Clear.
And now we have this, right, on main. Let's check our commit history. It's going to be much bigger now.
That's the updated one on
So
February.
starting with the most recent,
Is that one at the
what we
top?
now do, we integrated
Your network.
yes, today was the time 12 exactly. So it's showing you from most recent to least
Your network is breaking. Can you hear me? Are you there, madam? Oh,
right.
I cannot hear you, madam. Are you there?
Hi, Azibo.
Can you hear? Yes, madam. Your network was disturbed.
Yeah, someone tried calling me offline and it just interfered.
Okay.
Is the live stream
The live stream didn't disconnect.
still even going on?
The last time you connected it, so I don't know.
Let me just check. Okay, do not disconnect,
All right.
please. Okay, just hold on. Just give me a minute to resolve something.
I also wanted to ask, is it normal for a laptop to just reject charging, but the chargers are still working? I don't know why. Uh,
He has won the race. Prior to the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope.
Écoutez cette chanson, ça dit de Félix Tande, Faya de Davido à 150 000.
Oui.
Désolé, je pense à vous aujourd'hui. Hier, j'ai d'abord oublié comment j'ai oublié un truc là.
Tu es un faux type. Tu es un faux type. Laisse déjà. Tu es un faux type. Ouais.
Hier, j'ai pu penser à ça.
Ah, bon, tu es où maintenant?
Je suis en Facebook.
Ah, pas là-bas, bien merci là, non, je ne suis pas là, mais ma femme est là et mon petit.
Ah,
Oui, pas là-bas, bien merci là.
ok.
Quand tu vas arriver là-bas au salon de coiffure, on va te dire ce que tu dois faire.
Ok.
Oui. Tu connais la chaise là, quand on s'assoit, on lave le tête, non? Oui, le mécanisme là-bas est gâté.
Ah, ok.
Bon, aussi, il y a aussi, tu vas aller dans les toilettes, tu vois. Tu vois, on m'a dit qu'il y a un produit pour laver le pot là.
Oui, un produit.
Oui, tu laves le pot là. Le truc là qu'on lave le même là, le lave même là, tu fixes ça bien sur le mur. Tu achètes les accroches, non? Tu fixes ça bien sur le mur. Et le truc là, à l'eau froide, tu vas voir le mécanisme qui est là-bas. Donc, tu vas faire la même chose ou tu vas adapter quelque chose qui va fonctionner là-bas. Ben, on est en train de faire les travaux là-bas. Donc, attends, j'appelle ma femme pour demander si elle est encore là. Mais il y a mes petits là-bas. C'est quelque chose que tu peux faire seulement aujourd'hui, non? Ce n'est pas un grand truc.
Non, je vois, c'est bon, les choses, on va changer ça.
Ok, on fixe ça une fois. Bon, allez là-bas, non, allez là-bas. Quand tu es là-bas, tu me fais signe. À la station Axe à Biamassi-Lac. Oui, quand tu es à Biamassi-Lac, tu me fais signe. Il y a une seule station qui est à Biamassi-Lac.
Non, il y aura la station là.
Ok, quand tu es là-bas, tu me fais signe. Ma femme est là donc, et il y a mes petits aussi là-bas. Quand tu arrives, ils vont te dire ce que tu dois faire. Merci, bro. Hello. Are you there, madam?
Yes, I'm here.
Ah, sorry, I thought I muted the call.
Yeah, I muted you. Remember the live stream is going on. Everything is going to YouTube.
Oh, oh, oh.
It's okay. All right. So let me share my screen again.
But I can still connect with my phone and we continue the class if my laptop is disturbing. Then I will see what I can.
Yeah.
I can see if I can sort it later on.
Okay. Then in that case, it means you just have to follow along everything that I do. Then later on, you come and practice.
All right, all right, no problem.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, right now.
Okay. Okay. So let me see. So I think that we we merged the changes from the feature branch and deleted the feature branch, right?
We
Okay.
merged it
So
already
now,
and we did it.
yes. Okay. So now, let me see. For this part, I don't think we did not push to GitHub. No, we didn't push to GitHub. Okay. So what I'm going to
No.
do now is that we're going to push our changes to GitHub. Okay. So what am
Can
I going to
can
do?
we just go to
Push
GitHub and try to pull from the terminal? Is it possible that way? It's not
No,
possible.
it's not possible that way. At least not
Okay,
yet. It's
I have
not
to
possible.
push first.
So now,
Okay.
yes, we have to push. So I've written my command git push, and now we should have the changes on GitHub. Cool. So we have payment.py. We click, we see the content payment.py. Okay, but now let's look at our commit history. So what are we going to write? We're going to write git log, and we see the most recent one, integrate payment services, right? Right up to maybe modify grid.py, sorry, add hello.py. So let's say that something happened, and we're like, oh, this is really bad. This is really, really bad. Let's just go back to the previous state. Let's go back to the previous state where our repository was at the level of this commit. So what are we going to do? We're going to copy this commit and then revert to that commit using this command git revert, then we paste the commit hash
So
of
it
our
takes you to
reconf
that
date.
step. It takes you to that
Yeah, that's
step, but it did not work. Deleted in
yeah, there's a
parent.
we'll resolve it. A conflict, I'll explain what the conflict is, but then ask your question.
No, it's okay. You can go on.
Okay. So the expected result here is that it should take me back to the state, where's my mouse? It should take me back to the state of the repository at this particular point in time, right? But then, let me see. Reverted, grid.py deleted in parent, add grid.py, blah, blah, blah.
It didn't go. That means you had to do the git revert payment or buy.
No. The syntax is git revert and then the commit hash. But there's an issue. They said grid.py is deleted in the parent of this. Okay, let's look at this. In the parent of 628E4, whatever. That's this commit hash here, right? So let's look at this commit hash 628. So at this point in time, let me see. Why does it say grid.py was deleted at that point in time? I don't mean I have to click out this grid.py. Let's try going back to a more recent commit. Okay, when we hadn't integrated these payment services, let me get this commit hash. Okay, so this is the expected result. So what is happening now is that because I'm using the command um, git revert to that particular commit, what happens now is that it does not just randomly take you back and rewrite the commit history. Of course, you cannot even write the commit history. What it does is that it creates a new commit that will take you back to that previous state. So now it takes you back to the previous state and it says, okay, move to the previous state, and it creates a commit hash for that change that you made, for that state that you moved to. And it has even already given us a sample commit message here. Revert, update,
Update
readme file.
readme.
Yes. And
So
then
that
it
would be the new
continues.
commit. That would be the new commit.
Yes, yes, yes. And then it continues down saying that this reverts to commit, this, that. It gets them, it just puts the commit ID for you, the commit hash for you. So it has already created you a commit message. Everything in this hash, it's a comment, it's going to be ignored. So I'm
Okay.
like, okay, I'm cool with that. So now let's look at our commit history again. When we now have git log, you see that it creates a new commit, right? Revert
Update
this is the message.
update
And let's look
readme.
at, yes, revert update readme file, because that was a commit. This is where we were. This is where we checked out to, right, before we even had this integrate payment services. So it's trying to come back here. So it's saying reverting to this commit message, revert to this commit, also get the commit hash. Okay. So let's look at our files. Double check our branch. Let's look at our files. Let me see what was in our readme at the time. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's go back to GitHub. We now have more content, right? So now that it has created a new commit for us, if we do git push, it's going to push and our readme is going to change. Okay. So that is just a sample demonstration. There's actually more to get into.
Okay.
And I think we're talking about the various terms, and we've done a lot even, but it's good. So let's move forward.
All right.
There's a workflow. There's a workflow when you're working with Git. So the first thing that you need to do when you start your project, that if you're starting the project locally, what you need to do is that you need to initialize Git in your project folder to make it to become what a repository, right? So we'll take the steps over again. Or maybe let me not delete this yet. Maybe I need it. Open another session. So I'll
Okay.
call this recap. Get into recap. Again, recap is empty, right? Now let's say that I would like to have some files inside this recap, for example. Let's say I decide to have some files. So I could have maybe just one HTML tag here, right? Oh, maybe this just needs try to head. Then we have body, H1, good afternoon. I have index.html here now, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, I worked on this my index.html file. Let me stage it with Git. The moment I want to do Git add index.html, there's an issue. It's not a Git repository. Why? Because I have not done the first step of initializing Git, right?
So you have to create a repository first.
Yes, you have to create. That's when you're starting locally. I'll show you when you're starting from something that already exists. But let's go
Oh,
ahead. You have to create a repository first. Create a directory or a project first. But I can't do anything with it in Git because Git has not been initialized, right? So what I'll do is that I'll say Git init, initialize empty Git repository, right? Now I have my .git folder inside. We have its things that is keeping track of everything here. Now I'm like, okay, this is good to go. So I can confidently write index.html. And when I do this,
and
just
this
so I
thing work. This one work because
yes,
you are no longer in you had already created that file for example, if you just did if you cd that means you go to the home of your this thing and you do git init. I don't think it will work, right?
it will work. But then what would that mean? I'm initializing it for everything that I have here. It means I want it to keep track of everything. Can you hear me? Azibo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, okay. So I was saying that I was trying to answer your question. You asked that if I initialized it when I'm in home,
On your
right,
home.
it's not going to work. Yeah, it's actually going to work. It's actually going to work. Why? It's still a directory, right? It means I'm basically saying that this my home, this my home directory here should be a Git repository now. But it doesn't make sense because I don't want all of this. It's not like all of this is a project. But let me just show you.
Okay.
I'm in home, it has initialized, right? But I don't need all of this. I don't need this here. And as I delete, as I delete the .git repository, let me show you.
Everything,
So if I
everything.
yes, if I do git add dot, by the way, I'm saying that I want to add everything inside here, right? Dot means current, yes, where you are currently. Oh, that's going to be a lot. I'll press enter. Give it some time. Ah, this is so much. I hope it doesn't freeze anything.
Okay, we cancel that option.
Control C. But
Cancel,
then
just
let
cancel.
me
No,
do
skip.
okay. Yeah, I've cancelled. So everything. See now it's saying that all of this is not tracked. This is my home, right? Now
And
if
now
I
you,
remove
if you send it
yes,
if you
go ahead.
commit actually to GitHub, that means other people can see what's on your desktop at this
Yeah,
time.
other people can see yes at this
No,
time.
which is
That's
not
if I
good.
make it a public repository. Exactly.
Okay.
Which is not good. So what am I going to do? I don't want Git keeping track of anything in home, right? So I'm going to remove the .git repository, the .git directory or the .git folder. And if I were to do maybe Git status again, it's not a Git repository, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me go back to maybe recap. Yep. So now in recap, um, I think we had staged index.html. Okay, nice. Since we have staged it, it's now telling us that we have changes here to be committed, right? So, but now let's say that we staged this file and we're like, oh, we do not want to stage this file. We want to unstage it now. How do we do? We use the command git restore dash dash stage and then the file name, which is what?
Recap. Index
Index.html.
could not be resolved.
Let's use their own command that they are proposing. Doesn't this command work anymore? Yeah, this could work. But why is it saying that it could not resolve this head? Git rm dash 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 index.html. Nice one.
Yes.
Wait, this also works. I don't just get why did I misspell something. Everything is okay. I'll look into it, but either way, you can use this command or this
So,
command. Beautiful part here is that
okay.
to unstage
All right.
to unstage a file. Let's say we had more files. Let me create another file. Let me say we should now have style.css, right? We do git status, nothing has been staged, right? So if I want to stage everything, what will I do? I'll just say git add dot rather than writing git add index.html, style.css. Imagine we had 10 files.
So
That would be too much.
that just brings everything under that branch.
Under this folder,
All right.
this recap folder. Because look at something. I told you that dot represents where we are presently and dot dot one directory back, right? Parent directory. So if I do cd dot, it leaves me here.
Exactly.
But if I do cd dot dot, it takes me out, right? Okay. So when I say git add dot, I'm saying add everything here. State
Okay.
everything here. So when we run git status again, you now see that all of this has been staged. So let's say we want to unstage everything that we staged. What are we going to do? We're just going to say git rm dash dash cached dot, right? Not removing dot recursively without dash r. So am I supposed to put the dash r? Let me see. Okay, nice. All right. So if we do git status again, everything has been unstaged. Now, let me show you something else just for the purpose of demonstration before we go back to the notes. Let's say that inside this project that we're working on, inside this repository that we're working on, we have our files. But let's say we want to make another directory that will contain maybe helper functions, right? Functions that maybe will just assist us to do other things. So I'll create a directory called make the helpers. And
In
inside
this
the
group, inside
helper,
which
sorry, yes. And inside helpers, right? So let me verify that everything is on staged. Okay, good. Now inside helpers, I decide to make some files that will be my helper files, right? Maybe I'll say I'll call this maybe auth.js. I'll have another file maybe that helps with um, maybe the payment still. I can't think of anything right now. Payment.js. So we have this under helpers. But then if we do git status again, we see that we
It
now
does not
have
show.
these files from, no,
Mhm,
it has
but,
shown. This is it here.
but I think always do git add before you check git status now.
Yes, yes, yes. I just want to show you that everything, both inside everything, let me show you. Everything here in recap and inside helpers, which is still inside recap, nothing has been staged, right?
Yes. Exactly.
Okay. So if I go now into helpers, let's say that I want to stage, I'm good with all I've done so far. I want to stage everything. But I'm currently inside helpers. So if I do git add dot, your
Everything.
expectation is that everything has been staged. But mind you, I am inside helpers. And this git add dot means what? Present, where you are presently, right? Currently. So it has only staged auth.js and payment.js. It has not staged index.html and style.css. Let's verify.
Less.
You see, right? This has been staged. These other ones have not been staged.
I understand.
So what do we do if we're, because recap is actually our repository. We just created another directory inside to handle other things. So what do we do if we want to stage everything in our repository, even if we are in a subdirectory in that repository? There's a command which is git add dash dash all. Now, all, unlike dot, is saying that in the context of my repository, where the parent, where we have the .git folder, right? Stage, stage everything. So now when I do git status again, everything has been staged. Do you understand? Okay. All right. Back to the workflow. We must initialize Git on a
The
folder
git.
to make it a repository, right? And when
Yes.
we do that, Git now creates a hidden folder to keep track of changes.
So it also help to easily commit.
Hidden folder is that .git folder. Yes. Okay. Now, when a file is changed, added, or deleted, it is considered
Notified.
to be modified. Now you select the modified. Yes, whether you add a file, you delete it, you update it, it's considered to be modified. Now,
Your network is
after you
breaking.
have done your modification, right, you now select the modified file
I'm no longer seeing. I'm no longer seeing your screen.
that you want to stage.
I'm no longer seeing your
And how
screen.
do we do this? We stage using git add. What is the syntax? We use
Your network is disturbing, madam. Keeps breaking.
Git add file name. This is the syntax, right? Or file names, because you can add multiple files. You can stage multiple files. Able to hear me clearly now?
It keeps breaking.
Yes. Just hold on. Can you see it now?
No.
Let's just hold on a bit.
It says video for iSpark email screen has been turned off to
Just
save
give it some
bandwidth.
time.
All right.
Azibo, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Let me share my screen again. Let's see. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I think I
Well,
was talking about. Can you hear me? Okay, I was talking about staging, right? So all the files that we modify, we must stage, right? No, not all the
yeah.
files. After you make your modifications, you select the files that you want to stage, and this is how you stage.
Git add and then the file.
Yes, or you can say dot, or you can use dash dash all, depending on where you are.
Okay.
This dash dash all, right? You can still write dash capital A like this. Git add dash A. You do the same thing as when you write git add dash dash all. But careful when you're using this because you may commit things that you don't plan to commit. Do you
Okay.
understand how to do it properly?
So that dot is like you've created like 10 files on your terminal. You have echoed information into them, but now you want to commit it all the files at one. You just say git add dot
Yes.
space and dot.
Yes, git add dot. You just write it like that. Git
Okay.
add dot.
So all the files will then. All right. Okay. That's when you are in the report in the directory of where you want
Yes,
to. Okay.
yes. That is exactly it. So you, of course, you guys will have exercises to practice, and I'm sure you've already seen an assignment which is due, I think Monday or Sunday. I'm not sure. One of them. Okay, so
Yeah,
at
there's
least
an assignment,
you'll be able to
but it's not.
practice.
It's not on this. The assignment is not on this Git. But now the assignment is on SQL, and I was watching some YouTube videos earlier today, struggling to install Postgre and all those other things. So I don't know if I will be able to attempt the questions yet, but I'll try.
Definitely make an effort. And like I said, if you have issues, I'm always available. Get to love it as well. Like I actually want you guys communicating with each other. The on-site guys were talking about creating a WhatsApp group and they'll definitely add you. So you guys can talk on the WhatsApp group on Discord, like just collaborate among yourselves.
I think WhatsApp will be better though, because everyone is on WhatsApp.
You guys don't want to use Discord. Or either way, just collaborate.
All right.
Okay. So after you stage those files, definitely you now have to commit, right? Now, when you're committing, you're remember what committing does? Creating a permanent snapshot of the files. So what happens now? What's the command to commit? We'll use git commit dash m, which is short for message, and then either single quotes or double quotes. We now have the message. right? But then I can still use git commit like that. And what will happen? Remember when we were trying to revert? It just opened my text editor for me. Okay, so let's look at this here. With stage, right? Instead of doing git commit dash m, if I just write git commit and press enter, it opens my default text editor, which is Vim. And I can now write my commit message. And I can even make it more detailed and longer. I can say I can say um, initialize website project, add um, auth and payment features. Yes, I can even come back down yet another sentence showcasing XYZ. Right? I can write as much as I want. Remember, I said all of these things in blue, this ash, right? Everything after this ash, the comment is going to be ignored. And then the moment I save, you see the same thing.
Initialize website project, four
It
files
tells me
change.
that I've committed. We now have the full commit message.
Wow.
You're seeing, right? Okay. So this is the workflow. So Git allows you to see the full history of every commit. And how do we do that? We use the command
Git
git
log.
log. Excellent. But then when we use git log like that, it's giving us everything in full. Let me see. Let me just add a file here. Test.txt and create another commit. Um, add test file. Okay, the moment I do git log, it gives me everything in full. What if I don't want to see everything in full? I just want a summary. I'm going to use git log dash dash one line. It still gives me the history, but in a shorter form, right? It takes now just the first, I think the first 6 characters of the commit hash. It doesn't give you all of the info on author and date. It just gives you the first line of the commit message.
Okay, 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 I see. But it's
Yeah.
good
So you
to
can
see. It's good to always see what you commit.
yeah, it all depends on what you're using it for. So yeah, you can always see that. Okay. And then even with git status, there's a shortcut. Let me add another file so we see testing git status.py. Okay. So the moment I write git status, it gives me this, right? Let me add another file again. I'll call this one .java. Okay. Let me do the git status again and we see. Let me add another file. I'll use .rs for Rust. Okay. Git status again, it gives me everything. Now let's say I decide to commit
Or
only the .rs file. No, no, no. Just the .rs file. I do git status, it still gives me the full thing. But if I wanted to view this in a shorter form, I'll just say git status dash s, which means short. Now I see, okay, this has been staged, right? A added, it has been staged. So I can now commit this. These other ones have not been staged, they are not being tracked. So this is just like a summary version. Let me
okay.
add this here. I'll send you this file. So we have git status and say git status dash s. Okay. Then to um we can revert back to a previous commit,
Previous
right?
commits.
Yes, just like we did before. So now, if you want to revert back to a previous commit, the command that we used, sorry, the command that we used was git revert and then the commit hash, right?
Mm-hmm.
git revert, and then commit hash. Now, the reason why we use git revert was because the commits that we had already existed on a remote or shared repository, right? It has passed, GitHub has touched it and all of that. But then let's say that GitHub had not yet touched this. All of this was just still local. What we're now going to do is that we're going to use the command git reset. Now, when we're using git reset, right, git reset is for commits that are local and unpushed. So local and unpushed. And then this one, commits that are shared or already okay, in remote repo. Now, but then when we want to use git reset, there's a way that we have to use git reset. There are three different ways
Yes,
to
when
use
you say
git
git
reset.
reset, one moment,
Yeah,
madam.
I'm coming
When
to
you,
it.
when
Yes.
you say git reset, that means you want to cancel all the processes that you have done before.
No, no, no. Both of them, right? Both of them are used to come back, to go back to a previous commit.
Okay, from when you revert, then you go back to the current one and you go to git reset.
No, no. Both of them are used to go back to a previous commit. But then we use git revert when those commits are already shared or existing online. But we use git reset when those commits are still local and we've not yet pushed them.
Okay. For the if they're still on the terminal.
Yes. They work,
All
they
right.
both do the same thing. Just the two different cases, one which is online, the other one which is local or offline.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yes, with git reset, you can do git reset dash dash soft head approximately equal to to one. I'm just the one reading it like that. That's not how it's read. I don't even know how it's read. It's just head one. So what it's basically saying here is that okay, the most recent commit that you had, right? It undoes the last commit, but then it keeps the changes that you have in your staging area. So it can
Mm-hmm.
still come back and commit it. So this is like most recent commit. If I change this to two, it will be two commits back, right?
Yeah.
Previous
That's-
commit.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if I do git reset and I don't use that dash dash soft, I just use head one or head whatever number that I'm putting, right? It undoes the previous commit or the commit that matches this number, like one most recent, two most recent, and all of that. Okay, it undoes the last commit, in this case of one, and it unstages the changes. But then it keeps the work that you've done in your directory still. So when we say on this
On
one,
push.
no, let me just write it here so that you can easily see. This one, the fact that we have this dash dash stuff, right? It undoes the commit. Let me write it. Undoes commit, but keeps the file or the files that were included in that commit staged, right? This one, it as well undoes the commit, but files don't remain staged.
Okay.
The files don't remain staged. However, you still have the files. It's not deleting the files, right? The files don't
Okay.
remain staged.
Okay.
Okay. But then if you do git reset and then you do dash dash hard head one, what do you think we'll do?
Is the opposite now. It will undo the commits and The files will be staged.
No, so dash soft keeps it staged. This one, when you're using dash hard, is not going to be saved. This one, like this is a hard reset. What you're doing here
Mm,
now is that you're not just only undoing the commit, you're also discarding all the changes that you made permanently. Meaning that
okay.
nothing is not even going to, yes, nothing is going to remain staged. It means even if you worked on, let me say you had 3 files, right? It will discard all of those 3 files and it will take you back to the previous state before you even had those 3 files. You understand? So
Okay.
it discards all your changes permanently.
Okay.
So this is the difference. Okay, now that something important to note is that Git does not store a separate copy of your file in every commit, but it keeps track of it. So what this means is that when you're working with Git, right, it's not like these files that exist in this your folder, Git has a copy of it somewhere. No. When you add this one, it does not create a copy and keep somewhere. No, it's just keeping track of it. Just like a watch, like a watch night. A watch night does not copy your building and put somewhere, right? They are just monitoring. If you remove them, they stop monitoring. Yeah. Okay. So this is the hands-on part actually, where we had to where you had to install Git rather and set it up on your PC. So I already have Git installed. You need to go to this website,
I will just do it.
SMS.
Live streaming is on.
Are you there, madam?
Azibo.
Yes, madam.
Yeah, sorry, I got disconnected. So I was saying that you were asking that you just do it in your terminal, and I said yes. After clicking the link, right, you see for my case, it will do the same for you. It just picked my operating system, install for Linux.
Okay. All
So
right.
you
All
click
right.
there, it will give you
I'll
all
do
the,
that.
yes,
I'll do that. I'll do that.
installation instructions. Okay. The Linux distro you're using is Ubuntu, so you just need to do is
Mm-hmm.
sudo apt get install Git. Now,
Yeah.
after you've installed Git, after you've installed Git, you now verify your version to see that it is actually installed. So,
Okay.
what do you do? What command do you use? You use
Run
git
Git version dash
dash
version.
dash version, yes, to show you your version. Then you need to configure, you need to do the configurations. So you see how we just did git commit and it opened my default text editor, right? In your case, you maybe is more familiar with Nano. You would use this command and say git config dash dash global core dot editor, and then instead of vim, you put Nano.
Okay. Okay.
And there are different scopes when you're doing all of this. There are different scopes. You see how we use this dash dash global flag here. Um, dash dash global flag, the dash dash global flag here talks about the configuration level that you're in. So the first one is system. I'll talk about system. So when you use system, you're saying that okay, this configuration that I'm making would be system wide everywhere on my machine, irrespective of the user. Every user will have this configuration that I'm setting, but this is rarely used. So if we were to use system here, we'll do maybe git, we'll do git config dash dash system, right? Or the editor view. But then with global, global is saying that for the current user, I want this setting reflected across all my repositories. That is just for the current user. But then when you use dash dash local, or you don't use anything, you don't put any flag. When you don't put any flag, it just means it's local. Now you're saying that okay, only for this specific repository. Let me show you. So if I do git config
Config user name.
name, this is my username, right? If I
So,
do
madam,
git yes,
are you using a terminal or you are using the Git that you downloaded?
oh no, I'm using the git that I downloaded, of course. It's already I've had git too. It's already there, but you need to download
Okay,
before you're able to use it.
okay.
All right. Just like with SQL, right? We had to set up PostgreSQL before we're able to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if I do git config user.name, my name is there, right? It displays. If I do git config user.email, my email displays, right? Okay, but then this is these are my settings. These are my settings that I put globally. But now let's say that I decide to maybe get on somebody's project. I'm freelancing and they're like, oh, I need to use all their company info. I need to use their professional email for working on the project, right? So it should not be my personal email, which is there. So maybe I'm supposed to do some work for Azibo Holdings. What am I going to do? I'm now going to set change my configuration. So I'm now going to say, okay, for my username, I'm going to do it locally, right? Dash dash local, or I don't put the local at all. So for my username, I'm going to say, okay, I want to use Loni as my username. That is set, right? For my email, they've specified that I must use Loni.Tande at aziboholdings.com. Now, when I want to verify what I set, when I want to verify this, remember this is only within this repository, local, right? When I want to verify this, I just press enter. It's Loni, right? But if I go now and I just do this is outside of that repository, right? If I go now, and I just do git config user.name, it gives me Mimi 97 Aqua. Why? Because this is my global setting. You understand? But this is local only for this repository. If I wanted to change my global setting, git config user.name, I'll now use here dash dash global and maybe change this to Tande. For example, the moment I do this again, globally, it's going to show this, right? But of course, I don't want this. I want what I'm currently using. Same thing for the email, right? If I
Okay,
just
okay.
do this now, gives me my globally set email. But if I do this in here, it gives me for Azibo Holdings.
Exactly, I understand. I see.
And if I do use system dash dash system, it's doing it for every user. Okay. So the Git user, like I was just explaining this here in detail, it is preferred that when you're setting this up, right? When you're setting this up, you should use the username which you set on your GitHub account. So let me show you something. Let me go back to what was the project even? Git with Azibo. Now when we look at the commit history, we're seeing me here all through, right? But then let's say I decide to change the user here to be
You do not have
right.
you do not put either global or local or.
If I don't put local, right, it's the same.
Mhm.
If I don't put any flag, it's the same as just writing dash dash local.
Okay, 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 okay.
So I changed my username here, right? Let me
Mm-hmm.
change for email. So let me put Miriam at miriam.com. Let's verify.
Oh.
Okay. So what branch is this? Okay, we even had just one. So let me add a file. So let me call it testing configs. And let's stage this file. And then push. Let's see how it looks like on GitHub. So when I come here and I click on this commit, okay. The previous ones, you're seeing that is me. My username on GitHub is what you have here, right? What we used before. My email
Mhm.
on GitHub is also what we had before, right?
But now you have
But
changed
now,
it.
yeah, so it's not even able to pick. The commit still goes, it still shows, but then my profile picture will not be there. It's no longer like linked to a particular account. From here, you can just click, it points you to the account. But from here, it doesn't even give you anything. When you hover, you get nothing because there's no associated account. So this is why they're just like it's recommended to use the username and email which you use on GitHub. Any other thing you use is still fine, right?
Okay.
But then just so you have this.
All right. Understood.
Okay, all right. So we even had some exercises here to do, and I already gave you the answer to one of them. What happens when the email used for Git is different? Okay. Now you can see all the configurations that you set by using the command git config dash dash list. All my configurations will show here. Name, user, username, email, default editor, default branch, and so on. Right? Now, this is what you use if you want to set your default branch, right?
Yeah.
It can it's you can put it to be any name. In this case, I use the name main. But if you don't set any configuration for default branch, Git will just do it for you. This one is not an issue. Git will just do
Okay.
it for you. It will either be main or master, depending on your Git version. It will do that for you. But if you install Git and you don't set your username and email, when you want to make a commit, it will give you an error. You actually need to set those. It's not like a
Wouldn't it,
branch that Git will just for you.
wouldn't it prompt you to input your email and password?
No, 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 no. It will
Yeah.
tell me that you've not set it, so you should set it up.
Okay.
Okay. So let me see. Let me unset my um let me unset my username here. Let me see what am I even using here. Git config user.name. Okay, I'm using Miriam, right? So let me unset it and I'm going to use this command. Same command, but then I'm just going to add this onset flag, right? This dash dash onset flag. Okay, so I'm going to say git config dash
Onset.
dash onset user dot name. Let me add something in here. Yet another file. Okay. When I want to add that file, yet Sorry, should have also unset my email. Oh, sorry, it's using my global configuration now that I've unset. Now that I've unset this, in this directory only. So let me unset it globally. Okay, let's add this file. I have nothing specified. Oh, sorry, look at me.
Git.
Let me just do git upload. This is supposed to give me an error. Hold on, Azibo. Let me get to the bottom of this.
Okay.
Um, okay, this is the command I want to run. Let me also unset this email. Dodge. Nothing shows, so nothing is set. Okay, it still has this. So let me also unset this. Okay, so let me do git add yy on this. What on earth is he using? Hold on. Let's try to commit. Commit -m changes. Very bad commit message, by the way. Exactly. So it's at the level of committing. Sorry. So
Okay.
yeah, author identity is not known.
Please tell
Tell
me
me
who
who
you
you
are.
are. So we actually need to set all of these right because we can be adding, we can be staging, but the moment you want to commit, remember the commit will now need to get the username and the email for the commit history, and we don't know who that is.
That's where you have to get the email of your GitHub account.
Yes, you use the same, you can use any email, like I told you, but it's preferable to use the email of your GitHub account so that when you're pushing, right, it just points to your account. You can just reference your account.
Okay. At least
Global.
you show that you did it, not some random person.
Yeah. And also, if you're working for some other company and you have your global config set to your personal, it's not good that your personal username and email is appearing on their company organization, all their company repositories.
So you have to create
So
yours with the
yes,
email and
with the
that will
email
give
and
you.
username that they'll give you exactly. But then since maybe it could just be for some particular repositories, right? You can just do it locally instead of overriding your global setting.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So the moment I do this git, the moment you just okay. The moment I do this again, we now see it here. That's been set,
What is
right?
it again? Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So we've actually talked about all of this, initializing Git, and then if you don't want Git to keep track, just delete the .git folder. So that actually brings us to the end of our lesson. If your PC were available, we would have had you do all of these things, create your account, I guide you through. So when you sort it out and you're trying it on your own, reach out to me if you have any issues.
All
Or
right. The notes are on the platform, right?
yes, because I'm using it from ISC Learn.
Yeah, I will just be going through the steps. If I'm having difficulty, I can also go to YouTube.
Okay, perfect. All right. In all you do, please try to minimize your use of AI at this beginner
And
stage.
can you come again?
I said, when you're learning, right, in all you do, minimize your use of AI in this beginner stage. The time will come when we'll guide you guys on how to use AI properly for your project. But now we want you to actually think and learn how to solve your problems without AI.
All right, all right, all right.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, Jibo, that brings us to the end of our lesson. Have a nice day.
thank you, madam. It was a great lesson. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Take care.
So you are recording for Robert. Come, Elora. Come, what's your own name? Elora.